some stuff. Credit scores are broken up into 5 categories. So the biggest slice on this pie chart is payment history. That's 192.5 points. So the next slice is amount of money you owe. That's 30%. That's 165 points. Then you have the credit length, and you have the 2 other options, which are new credit and credit mix. All in all 5 of these categories equals 550 points. It equals 550 points. So, hold on, Keisha was sending something. Hold on, y'all. If you are curious, the previous screens were black on purpose. This screen actually has photos, so I did them black on purpose. So let's talk about this 550 points. I have met so many members who come to me and the late payments is what's hurting them. A late payment is considered transactions or experiences between you and a creditor. Therefore, anytime you get a late payment, you are hurting yourself 192.5 points. Anytime you get approved for low credit limits, you're hurting yourself 165 points. Anytime you don't go get new credit or credit mixtures, or you lengthen your history, this is 550 points, you're hurting yourself. I have had bad credit twice. I'm gonna tell you all the reason behind both of those reasons and how I almost filed bankruptcy. So I know exactly what you may be going through and why you are experiencing these issues. I got another person to emit. They're gonna have to just catch me replay. So let's talk about the payment history. How you get a high credit score and solve the payment history is you have to remove the late payments. It's non-negotiable. Them late payments have to go. If you can't remove those late payments from your reports, it's gonna hurt you. You gotta get them late payments off. How do you get them off? We're using the USC code. So credit scores aren't real. Have anybody ever heard this before? Have anybody ever heard this and understand this? I got to check the comments real quick. Credit scores are not real. I want to know if anybody ever heard this and understand this. I'm about to explain why they're not real. If anybody ever heard this, good. Some people say yes, some people say no. So let's explain why credit score, you heard it from me, great. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you saying that. So let's explain why credit scores are not real. I left you all up on the screen again. Fair Isaac Corporation is called the FICO. The Vantage, you got Vantage 3.0. So you got the FICO, well, I think it's 1 through 10, and then you got 10T now. So these are all the different scoring models. Then you have the Vantage 3.0. Everyone gets confused and want to know, why does Credit Karma show something different than the credit bureau's website? Or why does Smart Credit show something different than this? They're all scoring models, but the actual name for them would probably be an algorithm. And I put the definition of algorithms on here. Algorithms are sets of step-by-step instruction or rules that guide computers to solving problems or completing tasks. They are used in various fields, including programming, mathematics, data analysis, artificial intelligence. Algorithms process input data and produce desired outputs, enabling computers to perform complex calculations, make decisions, and automate tasks efficiently. Don't that sound very complicated? Oh, don't that sound complicated, you all? Let's go back. Remember this? This is an algorithm. This is an algorithm. It looks at your payment history. That's why I got the numbers on the side, the percentages. It looks at your payment history. It looks at the amount of money you owe. It looks at the length of your credit, the new credit, the different mixtures of credit, and it determines what score you should have. So how do they get this information? Well, when you break down everything that's on here, Your score is a mathematical equation put together for your consumer reports. I know what to say because I did it. So if you all can't see it, I just read it for you. Your score is a mathematical equation, a math equation put together by your consumer reports, meaning reports exist without credit scores. You can go on annualcreditreport.com and you can see your reports. You will not get a score. That's a governed website by the government that gives you your reports by law one time a year. And I believe since COVID, they do one time a week now. You can go there and get your annual report. So anybody who want to fact check me and think I'm just saying anything, go to annualcreditreport.com and you will see everything about you that ever existed. Also, you will not get a credit score because credit scores don't exist unless it's part of an algorithm. So scores cannot exist without reports. And you control the reports, but the report can exist without the score. So when you go back here and you learn how to manipulate payment history, or you learn how to delete negative payment history, you learn how to you learn how to get higher limits of credit, which is amount of money you owe. So prime example, let's just say you started off with a $300 credit card. That's not a lot of money you owe, even though it's some money you owe. But if you could start out with a secured card of $1,500, now you're in the ballpark of building good credit if you have no late or no negative payment history. Just using the two biggest slices on this pie chart can guarantee you a great score when you use the algorithm against itself. It's all about math. I love math coming up. So it's all about math. Oh, you all can screenshot this. I will send it to you all after this event so you all can have it. You can go through it and replay it. Remember, money makers take notes. So if you're taking notes, you're a money maker. Credit scores are not real. So FICO and Vantage. Now don't go to your bank and say this score not real. No, it is real because you're part of the algorithm that they use to measure your score. But also what's on your report determines their score. Many people with low credit scores either lack credit, don't have enough credit, or have something negative impacting their credit. I like that picture. It's like, what? What you mean they're not real? Do anybody feel like this right now? If anybody feel like this right now, please put the shaking my head emoji. Like, if you like, what? Like, how? And I got something else. The credit bureau is not real either. We're gonna talk about that. Let's keep going. Like I said, the credit bureaus are not real as well. They're not. Sorry, they don't exist. So who are we? Remember I told you I'm gonna tell you all about me, my family, and how I got bad credit and what happened with us. So this is us on the left. That's my beautiful family, wife, son, 2 daughters. And we had another son on the way who was born in May. You all will see him a little later, like maybe the next slide later. And that's me and my wife on the right. So when we first met, it was almost 10 years ago, 2014. I had good credit. She had somewhat decent credit. But, baby, don't get me, because I got to tell them this. We made a lot of bad decisions on love. Like, we was going to go buy new furniture because we just wanted to buy new furniture. We was moving to expensive apartments. We was buying new cars. We was doing all these things just out of sheer love. But we wasn't really calculating how we were spending our money, which caused us both to have bad credit. We went into collections. I don't have the letter with me, but when I do the next video tomorrow about charge-offs, I will show you all where I was sued before, but I beat that case. And I can show how you can beat yours. I'm not gonna give you legal advice, but you can beat charge-offs very easily. And you can be collection agents. They break a lot of laws. That'll be Saturday. But my wife, we made a lot of mistakes and I ended up getting a lot of charge-offs. My accounts I couldn't pay. And long story short, we figured out how to fix our credit and we started the journey to better credit. A little bit down the line, I fell into this mistake again, but it wasn't charge-offs. I had excessive utilization. So we go back to this pie chart because I have to keep references to this. Excuse me. Utilization is part of your payment history. If anybody here ever had a credit card and your scores plummet when you maxed out them cards or you went over the 30%, that's because you was going against what the algorithm tells you. That's why people always say stay below 30%, stay below 20%, because you want to match what the algorithm is telling you so you can have a high score. Well, when I maxed out my cards, it was on the verge of filing bankruptcy because I was spending with no control. I started to realize something, and I'm gonna get to that. But you can't max out them cards if you're gonna keep your scores right. This is part of the algorithm. Now, I told you our credit bureaus don't exist. This is Mr. Caleb. He's gonna get me for this. This is our son. He is so big to be only he's about to be 4 months. He is so big. But Caleb has a message for you all. Credit bureaus don't exist. They are called consumer reporting agencies. This is 15 USC 1681 AF. I'm about to show you all 15 USC 1681 AF and show you all how they don't exist and how you can remove these deletions. So if you've been here waiting for the good stuff, I want you all to start dropping those comments. Tell me that you're ready for me to go to these laws and debunk them and help you understand some stuff that you should be reading. Let's check the comments. Let's see what y'all talking about before we move over. Mr. Caleb. Yes, it's the Matrix. I love these. I'm happy Marquise is talking to y'all. All right, so before I go into the law, let's go here. Let's talk about credit bureaus. Have anybody ever Googled what is a credit bureau? Have anybody ever took the time to Google this? Well, I did it for you. I like to Google things. I told you I like doing complex stuff. My wife said I ask too many questions. Well, it's because I like to know a lot. But I feel like the person who don't know get taken advantage of. So anybody who's here today, you're doing something no one else is doing. You're taking advantage of knowledge. And no matter if you get some of the best information, some people think this is the worst. I was able to serve somebody by giving them something they didn't know. A credit bureau, a company that collects information relating to credit ratings of individuals who make it available to credit card companies, financial institutions, and etc. And if you go over here on the right side, it say a credit bureau is a data collection agency that gathers account information from various creditors and provide that information to consumer reporting agencies. Did y'all hear that? I said credit bureau's names was not credit bureau. It's called a consumer reporting agency. And this just said a credit bureau is a data collection agency that gathers account information from various creditors. That means the people who give you credit, and they provide that information to consumer reporting agencies in the United States. So is a credit bureau a middleman? What exactly is a credit bureau? We're gonna go to Cornell Law. I recommend you all to read Cornell Law. If you was to join our mentorship, we definitely will use Cornell Law for a lot of our case studies. These are proven case studies by Congress. So the same people who goes out to TikTok, Facebook, Trump, Biden, anybody, these are the people who write these laws that's out here for us to read. But those who don't know won't get it. That's why I'm here to explain it. Okay, so this is 15 USC 1681A. This is based on definition rules of construction by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Definition of rules and construction set forth in this section are applicable for the purpose of this subchapter. The term person means individual, corporation, partnership, trust, estate, association, government, governmental subdivision, or agency or other entity. Just like the Bible, you need to define the words that you're reading so you can get a clear understanding. So that's why they highlight these. But when you click on person, the person means individual, partnership, corporation, blah, blah, blah. Same thing we just read. So a person is not me or you. It's not a consumer. That's not the person. So sound like the person is the corporations, which is The consumer reporting agencies, the bureaus. The term consumer, let's look up this. A consumer means an individual, not a corporation. That's me, you, us, we're consumers. So what this is saying is D, so 1681D, 1681D, in general, the term consumer report, I'm gonna go through all these. If you all have questions, ask them now. Let's look up what consumer report means. In general, the term consumer report means any written, oral, or other communication or any information by the consumer reporting agency bearing on the consumer credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character, general reputation, personal characteristics, or mode of living is used or expected to be used or collected in a whole and a part of the purpose of serving as a factor of establishing consumer eligibility for credit or insurance to be used primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. Even employment. Anywhere in this section, did it say something about a credit score? Did it say credit bureau? Remember, this is Congress. Just don't go to Wikipedia, because Wikipedia may confuse you. Don't Google it, because Google has information out there to mislead you. If you're gonna go straight for information about bureaus, you need to go to lawyers. You got Black Law and Cornell Law. So it says nothing about credit bureau, and it says nothing about scores. I don't see FICO in here. I don't see Vantage in here. So that tells you the scores are not real. This is consumer report, but it gets even better. So here's, it got a definition for consumer reporting agency. What's a consumer reporting agency? Then we just looked this one up. We looked up credit bureau, so look up the consumer reporting agency. For monetary fees due or a cooperative nonprofit basis regularly engages in whole or a part of practices assembling or evaluating consumer credit information and other information of consumers for the purpose of furnishing consumer reports to third parties. Don't that sound like the credit bureaus we deal with? They furnish a consumer report. When you all get letters from the bureaus, because I'm pretty sure you all have got them, I want to work on something today. So first thing first, I'm shaking the camera, so let me calm down. I'm getting a little excited. I get excited about this. First thing first, let's change the way we think. Let's stop thinking about credit scores, think about consumer credit reports. Let's stop thinking about credit bureaus, think about consumer reporting agencies. When you do that mindset shift right there, that alone helps you understand how to communicate with them. When you think of bureau, don't you think of the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation? Or when you think of bureau, you think of people in Tennessee, TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Like when you think of something that's more sporadic, something like this, however you pronounce it, but you think of something more serious and they impose themselves upon you. That's what you think of. And that's why so many people have fear when they receive letters back from the consumer reporting agencies, because they're thinking, oh, the credit bureau not gonna remove it. They say verified is accurate. Or the credit bureau not, no, they will remove it when you use the law and you have to address them. You can't be using these goodwill letters. The letter I'm gonna show you all today is not a goodwill letter. I got a real letter that's gonna blow your mind. You can't be addressing them and not speaking their language. Like they can't speak Spanish and you speak in English. You all will not interpret one another. You're not gonna make sense. You have to speak law with law. You have to impose yourself upon them and let them know, no, I know I can control what's on my reports. I told you that earlier. And it tells you right here, but it gets better. So let's keep going. Let me check the comments, see if we got any messages. Let me respond to anybody. Marquisa got it. Okay. Marquisa got it. So let's keep going. Remember now, I love this complicated stuff, so I want you all to take time and read this. So we stop at consumer reporting agencies, bearing on the credit, consumer's credit worthiness. So we all looked up the definition of credit. Did we look that one up? Yes, we did. Credit or creditor. The term credit or creditor have the same meaning as section 1691A. We're not going to get into that. We know who the consumer is. We establish who the person is, this corporation, LLCs, trust, estates, all that. And we know the consumer is us, the people. We know the consumer reporting agency is the bureaus, but call them consumer reporting agencies. We know consumer report is our credit reports, but call it consumer report. Y'all, this is so much. This is why I'm retiring from doing credit. I rather show people because I can't do this with everybody. This is too much because everybody won't get it unless I get them together to get it. But individual, it's hard. I can't give you a fish and now you're gonna eat it tonight because then you're gonna want me to eat some more fish. But if I show you how to fish, you'll be able to fish forever. That's why I would like to educate more people about this because I learned something to help me. So let's skip on down. I want to get to the good part. So part 2. So 15 USC 1681A 2. It say exclusions. Can somebody in the comments tell me what the word exclusion means? You might can read it and tell, but I want to know who all paying attention. Can somebody tell me what exclusion means? What do you think the definition of exclusion means? Somebody. Just one person, please tell me what exclusion means. No, it don't mean opt out. To not include, yes. Exception. As provided in paragraph 3, the term consumer report does not include. That means this is what the reports don't include. This is excluded from the report. It's finna get juicy. Let's go. Y'all ready? Let's read I together. Everybody, let's read I. Report containing information solely as to transactions or experiences between the consumer and the person making the report. I got to read it again a little slower now because I want you all to get this. This is the information excluded all up under section 2. Report containing information solely as to transactions or experiences. Have y'all ever had like the preacher read it over, like, y'all got to get this? They read it over and over. That's what I'm about to do. Between the consumer and the person making the reports. As we said earlier, the consumer is me and you. The person is the credit reporting agencies. Consumer reporting. I've been wanting to call them credit bureau so bad. See, I do it too. The consumer reporting agencies. That information is excluded. What is a transaction? A transaction is a late payment. A transaction is an on-time payment. What is an experience? Experience is a late payment. That's an on-time payment. That's high utilization. That's my next thing I want to give y'all. You can remove high utilization from your reports because by law, this is the law, not me saying it. Reports containing information solely as transactional experiences. I hope y'all got that. Meaning, if you have transactions and experiences on your report between you and the lender, that's the person making the report. Bureaus, reporting agencies don't make the report. The lender makes the report to the consumer reporting agency, and then they share the information for public use, which is a violation as well. But I'm not talking about that today. Your lender should not be reporting what happens between you and them to credit bureaus based on your score. It's the law. Why do they do that though? To discourage you, to hold you back because they know you're gonna check their score and you're gonna see my score is dropped. Oh Lord, I need to pay my bills. I need to get on top of this, or I don't know what to do. This information is one of the 95% reason why people file bankruptcy. The other 5% is marriage and other personal things, but this is the 95% reason why people file bankruptcy. Information reported on their reports that shouldn't be reported. Communication of that information amongst persons related to common ownership or affiliated by corporate control. So what does that mean? That means only affiliated companies should share information. If you go to the hospital and they're affiliated with a minor emergency, they can ensure that you didn't pay them. That's an affiliated company. Third-party companies are not affiliated with companies unless they have some type of affiliation I don't know about. Like, let's go into the bureaus real quick. I can't think exactly which one on which one, so I'm not gonna quote it wrong. But you all know it's more than just 3 consumer reporting agencies. You got ARS, LexisNexis, you got SageStream, and Innovis. Those big consumer reporting agencies also own the small ones. So LexisNexis holds information about bankruptcy. It holds information about your insurance. So whenever you get an insurance quote and you wonder why it's probably higher than what it's supposed to be, they share information. They pull your consumer credit reports. They can share that information. They are affiliate partners, but a bank, Bank of America, cannot share information with, well, should not and cannot by law share information with the consumer reporting agency. This is not just me saying it, it's clear as day. And for you all to fact check it, just click on it. The term means individual. So did you all get that? Like, if you all got that, I need y'all to say something. Like, I'm not looking at the comments. Look at the comments. Y'all get it? Ooh. There you go. There we go. I like it. So with that being said, utilization that is high can be removed from your reports. Now, it does not mean you don't owe it. Delayed payments does not mean you don't have the obligation to pay those companies. That's not what I'm saying. You still owe whatever debt you have. The debt is not extinguished, but that debt reporting on your reports can be removed using the law. It can be removed using the law. So I want to get a little further into this and show you all a handcrafted letter that we put together to help our members do this. So let's go into this letter. This is the late payment letter. And you all can copy it, but if you don't want to copy, I have a better option for you in just a second. It's very, very strategic. So you fill out your information, name, address, everything that solely identify who you are as a person. You're going to fill out the creditor name. So let me explain this letter real quick. I don't want you all to get too far into it. Whenever people are trying to get disputes settled or resolved on their credit, they are sending out goodwill letters to remove late payments. A goodwill letter is saying, sorry, COVID happened and I couldn't pay my bills. I forgot about it. Or I missed the bill because I forgot the due date. That's blasphemy. It don't make sense. Sorry, but it don't make sense. That's why you never see them items get deleted. Now, I have had people call and they cried on the phone with the creditors and the creditors removed it. I have had that happen before, but that's a little too extreme to get that item deleted when it don't supposed to be there anyway. So goodwill letters are trash. Templates you're using on social media are trash. If you're not using something that's related to 15 USC 1681A2, AI, you're probably not going to get them transactions and experiences deleted. We're talking like the bureaus now, the consumer reporting agencies, transactions and experiences. That's what we're trying to get removed. So when we get into this letter is basically addressing transactions and experiences. To whom it may concern, I am writing to address the matter of concern regarding the transactions associated with your company. This is not going to the consumer reporting agencies. This is going to the furnisher of the information who furnished the report, which is whatever bank is furnishing your reports and showing that you have had negative transactions and experiences. I'm associated with your company I have a period of my consumer credit reports. Upon reviewing my credit reports, I have noticed these transactions and I must express my confusion, as I am not provided consent for the transactions to be reported to third-party agencies or corporations, including consumer reporting agencies. Did y'all get that? Did y'all get that one? That's a good one. Hold on, give me a minute. Okay. So with that being said, you're supposed to get 3 forms of consent. I'm not gonna dive into those today, but it is a 15 USC law that states you get 3 forms of consent. When you get those 3 forms of consent, one should be written, oral, and one should be in plain sight, saying that you can have the option to opt out of having your transactions reported. Excuse me. If you don't get those 3 consents, which I can help you find them, if you don't get them, because most people don't get them, you can opt out of having this information reported. Any questions about that so far? Okay, let's keep going. So I have not provided consent for transactions to be reported to third-party agencies or corporations, including consumer reporting agencies. So you're telling that bank, I have not provided consent for this. In the light of this, I formally request documentation of the 3 civic forms of consent that would allow for these transactions to be reported, as mandated in by 15 USC 1681 2AI. Let's go back to it so you all can know what I'm talking about. 15 USC 1681 2AI. Reports containing information solely as transaction or experience between consumer and the person making a report. Exclusion, this is the exclusions section. It's saying that if I have not received them consents, I'm asking you to opt me out of this. If you can provide me with consents, then we have another thing we can tackle to get it off. Transactions are meant to remain strictly, if you all can't see me, I'm right here. Transactions are meant to remain strictly between the consumer, which is myself, and the lender, which is your company. However, I'm not aware of having provided necessary consent that will permit these transactions to be shared with external entities. I kindly request that you provide clarity on this matter at your earliest convenience. Please share the aforementioned consents and any relevant information that would help me better comprehend the situation. It is important to note that I reserve the right to opt out of such reports should the appropriate consents not be provided in accordance to the legal regulations. I appreciate your prompt attention to this matter and look forward to a timely solution. Did you all get that? Like, tell me that's not fire. Like, can I get some flex emojis? Like, where my flexes at? I'm gonna flex. Give me a flex emoji in here. Can I get some flexes, please? Like, can I get the muscle? Anybody got iPhones? Like, flex. Where's the, how you find it? Oh, there you go. There we go. There we go. There we go, the fire. I got that one. I see that. Okay. That's what I want to see. I want you all to take this game and soak it up. Soak this game up, please. Now, with that being said, when you send a letter like this off, this is not a goodwill letter. This have nothing to do with, hey, I was late by mistake and please help me. No, this have nothing to do with goodwill. This is strictly enforcing the law, and this letter is handcrafted by me and my wife. We sat down, we studied the law, we handcrafted it. So we put some time in with this. And when you send a letter like this off, you want to send it certified. Certified is your receipt of addressing this concern. I'm gonna talk about collection agencies. Not today though, y'all. I don't want to hold y'all up too long, but I'm gonna talk about collection agencies when we do the next event. So I want to show you all something now that we have debunked this. And if you all didn't catch what I said earlier, I want to go back to what my freebie was besides the late payments, because I kind of went a little fast. Experiences is utilization. You can also have your utilization removed from your deleted from your consumer reports, because it should not be included anyway based on 1681 2AI. It should not be on there. So people who experience a high utilization, your scores are low, or maybe you having issues getting approved for a home, you can remove these things. And if you can't get them removed by using these practices, several things you should do. I always preach being consistent, because being consistent gets you real results. Well, no matter what you're doing, working out, eating healthy, dieting, whatever you are doing, being consistent gets you real results. But on top of that, When you're consistent, you're sending them certified letters, you're building a report, you're building a paper trail. Next thing you do is you go get you a consumer lawyer. When you get that consumer lawyer, you're going to get paid because you have built your report saying that I'm telling you, I'm looking at my reports, I understand what I'm saying, and you clearly not getting it because you got somebody who don't know how to read the law. I'm gonna get a lawyer, and when you get a lawyer, 9 times out of 10, if it's the consumer reporting agency or the furnisher of the information, they will settle with you outside of court before you even get to court because they realize you're serious. But that's how serious sometimes repairing your credit and restoring it has to get just to get to where you're trying to go. Too much is given, much is required. So if you want to achieve getting a good score so you can buy a home for your family, if you want to achieve getting out of them bad interest rates on them loans, or maybe you want some funding to get your business set up with your personal credit, utilization is holding you back because you've been funding your business with your personal credit, we have gave you a blueprint to get these items off. Now let's get a little further into what our program consists of, because I hope you all liked it. Did you all like that? Like, did you all like that information? Please tell me you all liked it so far. I need the letter. Okay. Well, we do have the letter, so I'm happy you all like it. If you would, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. I will send you all the replay and a link. Share it with somebody. Share it on social media. I have no problem with you sharing this because I used to try to be the gatekeeper of information, but I realized that my people suffer for the lack of knowledge. So I hope I can help everyone achieve their goals because I have achieved mine. We're still striving, but being able to help more people help us. So let's get back into what we got going on for the day. Caleb is so cute. That's my handsome son. I bet he's down there giving his mama H-E-double-L. Don't he look bad? Okay, so I got a one-time offer for everybody here today. The coupon code is ZoomZell. You're gonna save 50% on this letter. I don't know if you all have a value or put a value on things, but I know for sure this handcrafted letter is worth well over a lot of money. I can't even put a price on it. But for everyone who attended today, I'm gonna give you an irresistible offer that I know you can take advantage of if you would like to save time and actually get the results. This offer today, you can get 50% off using this code. All you have to do is text letter to the same number you text earlier, and you only get it for $49.99. That's it. You get the replay, the letter, and you do have an option to join our monthly VIP membership. $49.99. It normally costs $100. It's $49.99 if you want it. You can go to the website, you will get that after this Zoom, or you can just text the number and Marquisa will send it right over to you. You can have the letter tonight. You get the VIP, you get the recording tomorrow, and you're set. This is only for today. Out of today, it goes back to the original price. So if you all really want to start getting those transactions and experiences removed from your credit using 15 USC 1681A, and you want to learn this, you want to join our private mentor group, I'm asking you to make that investment of $49.99 to get this letter and start seeing things move. And when you see these things move, I want you to come to the group and tell people. I would like for you to share the information because this is, you can't put a value on this information. You can't. You can't put a value on this. And I can send it to you on the chat if you would like it in the chat as well. You can go straight to the website. Let me see if I can help some people out who want to go there. I know sometimes people like me, they don't like to go do all that reading. No, I'm just playing. I love to read, as y'all can see. Here's the website. Remember the code is with this. This is the code, and I would love for you all to come back, hit me up, and let me know how this went for you. Because some people are not gonna believe it till they get it done. But this is the law. Look it up. Keisha sent y'all the link. Look it up. Use ZoomZell for the coupon and get 50% off. Save 50% of the late removal letter. If you're seeing this video later on YouTube or whatever other platform, it will not be that price, but I will still give you a deal. I appreciate you all coming. Please join me tomorrow as I talk about removing charge-offs, because by law, they should not be reporting on your credit reports. Thank you all.